Okay, so this is a video on using the James method digitally. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do it, and then I'm going to show you the way that I like doing it. So I have, if I go to my files and then hit the James method folder that I can have a bunch of mapping plans, and then I have my verse mapping journal, and I have my word study PDF. I use both of those. And then I actually use them in GoodNotes. So we're going to get out of there and we're going to go to GoodNotes. So these are all my files. I do have the scripture memory journal. I actually use it separately than I do the verse mapping or the word study. This, if you just open it up, it's going to give you the daily pages. It works out really well. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. One, you could really just open up the folder, the file itself, into GoodNotes. And I do have my verse mapping one in here. I don't have the word study, but I do have the verse mapping. And I'll tell you why I don't use it this way. Because in the book, you open it up, you have a 2-page spread. And that 2-page spread actually helps you see side by side and helps you really get into what you're doing and if you need to go back and correct. This way, it's always you have to flip the page in order to get to the next page. I do not like it, just because I can't have the two pages side by side. So I fixed it. So what you have to do is, I will link this little journal to you in the description so that you have a link to the journal that I'm using. You can technically use any little notebook, and that's a side by side spread. So I'm going to go back to the James method file I have. I'm going to show you how I did it. So the verse mapping one I'm going to do first. So you have, actually this is not the updated one. This is my updated one. So you have your verse map. So this updated one actually goes this way. If you opened your file, this is how you're going to get it. So what I did was I take a screenshot of this page. So you have a screenshot, and then you open up the screenshot and you're going to adjust it to get rid of everything else except for the page that you want to use. Okay, once it's done, top left, you're going to hit done, save as a photo, because you have to use photos and images in GoodNotes. It just works better if you're trying to do what I'm going to show you to do. So then I'm going to come down here to the second page on the thing and do a screenshot of it, open it up and fix it as well. Come down here, fix these. Okay, done, save to photos. So then we're going to get back into my GoodNotes, okay? And then I have, if you look on here in the second row to all the way to the left, it says the James method. This is specifically for my James method, word studies, and verse mapping, okay? So I open it up, and it's going to give me this word study thing. So what I did is, I'm going to show you how I did this. This is the same concept I did for the word study as we're going to do for the verse mapping. And then you can see how much easier it is when you can actually see side by side. So I'm going to go up to these 4 little boxes connected, top left, hit that, and it's going to give me all of the pages that are in this notebook. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to add pages so you don't have to continue to do this process over and over again for every single page that you use. So how I have it set up is my first section is my word studies. Okay, and then my second page, I'm going to open this one that's blank, as you can see after the first black and white stripes. So this one is blank, and then I have my verse mapping done, but I want to show you this one. So you're going to open this one, and it's going to give you the side by side. So in your options, you have your pen that you can see. You have the next one is an eraser, your highlighter, and then all these other things. So you're going to go to this little landscape one here, and you're going to click on it twice. Okay, so then you're just going to pull up all of your images. So the first image you want is the first page of our verse mapping. So then you're going to come over here and you're going to adjust it so that it fits right inside this notebook. And you're going to click off of it, and then you have your first page. So then you're going to do it again. You're going to click your second page, bring it over here, adjust it so that it's here. And then you have your 2-page spread. So then you can actually open it up, pull it open. If you want to highlight each little individual box, you can highlight, you can color them in, you can draw lines and arrows, and then you can highlight your words. Here, you can go here, you can go up this way, you can go here for these ones. When you write, obviously you can just write here. And then if you need to write something over here, but you want to arrow it here, you can connect them. I'm going to erase all this in just a second. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to have a blank. I'm sorry, I'm going to erase all of this really quick so I can show you how to duplicate this page without having to recreate this process again. So you're going to go back up to these 4 squares and the 4 little squares, open it up. So then number 12 is the one that we're going to duplicate because that's the one I just created with you. So you're going to hit this little arrow right next to the 12 button. You're going to come down to the third one that says duplicate, and you're going to hit it, and it's going to give you an entire new one exactly the same. So if you have writing on the one that you're duplicating, it will duplicate all of the writing. So you want to make sure that your verse map is blank first before you use it, or your word study. So see, I'll show you. So like if I go to this number 2 one and I want to duplicate it, it's going to create an exact copy of what I just did. So I'm going to delete it because I don't need 2 of that word study. Okay. So if you want a blank one, you're going to come here and you're going to duplicate it. Here's the issue. If you forget to duplicate an empty one and you run out, all you have to do is usually go to the bottom and you have an empty one just like what we've covered up. So you're going to just pull it up, okay, and you're going to put it after the last one of your word study or your verse mapping, and then you're going to just use the images again and size it to each side of those, and then just don't forget to duplicate a bunch of them before you use it so that you can have blank ones. So that's pretty much the easy way of creating the pages. It's way easier than pulling in the file that you get directly from the James method and then trying to go back and forth when you're doing your study. This gives it to you side by side, and you can open it, close it, you know, open it, write what you need to, highlight, because you obviously you can have a gazillion different colors. You can create your own colors still. Pens are the same exact way. You can create your own colors. You can make them thicker to write with. You can make them thinner to write with. You can actually even create your own style that you would like to write with. So you can do a lot of different things and kind of create it yourself and personalize it. Obviously you can hit this T and you can actually type text onto here if you don't want to write. You can do, this one is, the only problem with these are the sticky notes and things is it will cover up your wording. So it's not like you stick a sticky note in your book. This will actually cover up whatever it is. And then you won't be able to use it. You can't see through it. So that's the downfall with that. This one, I'm going to show you, this is pretty cool. So if I write something here, okay, and I want to move it. So I'm going to hit this little swirly thing here. Now that you see it's lit up blue, you're going to circle it. Okay. And then you're going to grab it and you're just going to move it. So if you wrote something in the wrong spot, all you have to do is do this. Now, I will tell you, if you use the file itself up from the James method, you cannot move this back and forth between the 2 pages. It only goes from the 1 page. But if you create this 2-page spread, then you can move it from 1 page to the next. The other way you cannot. It stops at the page before you swipe it. So that's just a little tidbit. You can make, so if I wanted to be a triangle, it's going to make me a triangle. Circles is going to give me, so it's going to give you just different circles. It just helps you create good ones to where they're actually or they're the shape that you really wanted. I'm not really sure why that one didn't disappear. There it went. Okay. So that's how you use the James method digitally. I hope that answers all of the questions that you had for me. If there are any other questions, please feel free to either put them on the bottom of the video or just message me privately on Messenger. I I will link the link to this notebook, but as I said, you can use any side-by-side setup to make it work like this. So it doesn't have to be this one specifically. Blessings and have a great day.